property, as they needed space to manufacture their various household items, including decorative beers. Omega continued its expansion in the 900 block of Baxter Avenue, and in the 1970s, during the peak of the disco era, the national product staff of 30 would each make 25 mirror balls per day. At the height of its production, Omega was producing about 90% of the world's disco balls, all made in Louisville. In 2019, a business entity known as 900 Baxter LLC purchased 900, 906, and 912 Baxter Avenue, and so began the journey to transform the several manufacturing structure into the comfort zone of the Marriott Hotel, the Paseo Restaurant, and the Marriott Swim Club, featuring a saltwater pool. And an interesting tidbit on how the name Marriott came about. In 1917, an inventor, Louis West, patented the mirrored reflector, described as a hollow geometric form whose surface is covered with a multitude of mirrors, reflecting light in many directions. So by utilizing mirrored in a hotel name, it provided a great opportunity to connect the past to the present. To accept the award for a Marriott Hotel, we have with us today Ashlyn Ackerman, Head of Design for the Common Bond Hotel Collection and Whalen Ventures. As an architect and designer, specializing in historic redevelopment, Ashlyn leads the design team on projects from conception to completion. And I'm sure there were many challenges with this project, but in the end, a great addition to the Highlands. Great.
You want to say a few words? Go ahead.
Sure. Just want to say thank you on behalf of Whalen Ventures. This is a building that sat vacant for a long time. I think lots of developers have looked at it, so we felt very fortunate to be able to finally solve the puzzle and bring this back to life and remain an asset to the Highlands neighborhood. This was also a historic tax credit project, both state and federal, so we want to definitely thank our partners at the SHPO, National Park Service, for all of their guidance and involvement to get it over the finish line. Great example of reusing the assets that we have here in town and turning them into something great that can last another 50 years or more. So thank you very much.
I always say that history is economic development. When we talk to our officials, we have to use financial terms in talking to them. They don't quite get the aesthetic and historic appeal that we usually associate with these structures, but they do get the dollars and cents that these type of structures bring to our community. So we want to thank Whalen Ventures for helping us out in conveying that message. Okay. Everyone in Louisville, I think, knows where Hogan's Fountain is located. If you don't know, it's at the pinnacle of Cherokee Park. And it is one of our great landmarks designed by Enid Yandel, who is pictured there on the right. It was installed in 1905, and after 118 years, it needed a bit of restoration and landscaping. But to bring this all about, it took special leadership to pull together the various resources to truly highlight this beautiful landmark. And you can see there the revised design. And this special leadership was provided by Mr. Charlie Marsh. While Charlie is in the real estate development business, his passion is with the natural environment, and he enjoys our local history properties. All Louisvillians benefit when leaders like Charlie step forward and contribute in such a quality-enhancing manner. He is a great example of civic entrepreneurship. There he is. He's there in the center, cutting the ribbon at the restoration. There are some recent photographs of it. If you've been up there lately, it's really a great picturesque point now. Thank you, Charlie, for restoring Hogan's Fountain to continue to shine as one of our community's great treasured landmark jewels. Charlie, I think Charlie's here today, if you can come forward. Oh gosh, she's in the back of the room. Okay. Why don't you come out and around, Charlie? Come out through the other side. Sorry about that.
Watch that hole in the floor.
And let me see, I'll get the award when he's coming forward. We actually have Hogan's Fountain here. Say a few words.
Oh, just a short one. It was really a fun project. Anytime you're working with the people with the Parks Department and the Homestead Conservancy, they're just pleasant people, and so it makes it a lot of fun. But the fountain itself up there, like you said, it was commissioned and dedicated in 1905, and then over the course of 115 years, with the evolution of the car, it was originally designed for horses. The sculpture, and then the pole underneath it is really a horse trough, where the horses, the carriage used to be. Well, over time, the automobile kind of overtook it, and so the fountain itself lost its sense of space, and it really became an afterthought. So a lot of the work, in addition to people that was a conservator out of Denver that did approved the sculpture itself. There was a local company called Schnell that regrounded the granite bowl and redid that. A lot of it had to do with and I encourage you all to go out there and visit it. It's really kind of cool. There's a concentric circle of Belgian pavers around it that had been paved over. So when they wanted to create the sense of space, we had a company named Mindell Scott's, a local silver company, that we designed these concentric Belgian pavers around, uncovered them, and that became the design point. So we had to go back 30 yards on the road and 30 yards in front of it in order to get the elevation. So that was almost as tricky as the rest. But a lot of people worked on this, and it was kind of proud to be part of it.
Great. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, let me get to the minutes. Okay. For many years, decades perhaps, we have driven by 4515 River Road and lamented the deteriorated condition of the James Gaffney House. Well, we can now rejoice with the Gaffney's restoration, and we honor Dr. Galen Weiss for saving this phenomenal house. And I'll show you some images here. Here are some before photographs of it, and some after. We did this compilation on the left here of the before, and then on the right are the after. And Galen put together a wonderful website. If you've not been able to visit it yet, it's the gaffneyhouse.com. Has all sorts of information on the house there, with photographs and information. The house is available for rent for a variety of functions. We encourage everyone to do so, and it can actually hold, and Galen can elaborate on this, it can hold up to 20 cars now parking. He made a parking lot adjacent to the house, which facilitates its use. So without further ado, I know Galen is here today. Galen, if you come up, there he is right there.
Stand over here.
Okay.
Because it'll feed back.
My whole goal was just to live on the river, and there's not much property. And this house, I would say it took about 3 years to get the people to agree to sell it. It was in such bad shape, I was just going to tear it down and build a house. When I got inside, I had to get rid of all the garbage and old carpets and tires and lawnmowers. I saw some beautiful tiles and bricks, and I thought, I can't take this down. I didn't know anything about the house, I didn't know it was Gaffney, and I just said, well, I can't take it down, so I'll just redo it and use it for Airbnbs or weddings, that kind of thing. And it took about 3 years, and finally got it completed, and we had to redo the landscaping. And like I said, there's some more area where you can park, because parking's not that great on River Road. But it's all set up now, just basically for rental. You know, beautiful rooms, all 4 full bedrooms, bathrooms in all different styles, and even with the upgrades, it still has a lot of the like historical style, let's say. But the website has history on there of Gaffney, and some lady named Carpenter did a dissertation or a PhD on Gaffney himself. So it's a whole, all the, like 54 places in Louisville, I think, were Gaffney properties. But the old pictures, new pictures, a bunch of different things like that are there. So.
Thank you, Galen, and we'll present you the award here. Really good. And Galen will speak at our Finley collection in November. We've spoken to him about doing that, and hopefully you're amenable for all that. So come back and talk more about the Gaffney House. Okay. Our next award honors the legendary Brandon Clayco. Brandon was more than a historian and urbanist. He was passionate about his love of Louisville. His internet blog, Broken Sidewalk, promoted Louisville history as well as to sound the alarm for potential demolition of local landmark buildings. Sadly, Brandon passed away 7 years ago. To recognize his many contributions to Louisville and to keep his beautiful memory alive, the board decided to name an award for him. The Brandon Clayco Civic Advocacy Award was established to feature an individual who shared Brandon's passion for making Louisville a great place in which to live. Here are some photographs of Brandon in action. His Broken Sidewalk is still active, and people still, whenever I Google something, it always seems to come up with some history on Louisville that I'm looking for. More information about his efforts. And here are some of the past recipients of the Brandon Clayco Award. Sadly, we also want to note that Sheldon Schaefer recently passed away also. So we lament his loss to Louisville history. For this year's award, the board is proud to recognize Joanne Weeder. And I want to invite, I should have invited them before, Al, and I don't think Julie wants to come up, but Al, if you're available, you can come up. Julie is here too, I believe, yes? Oh, she's back there in the back. So Al is Brandon's father. If you want to say a word or two, you're welcome to do so.
Hello, everybody. We're proud every year to give this award. Brandon's passion is with this, so for us to be able to take part in this, in his legacy, we're thrilled. And we want to congratulate Joanne. Is Joanne here?
I'll say a few more words about Joanne's achievements here after I fixed the sign that was falling down there. But Joanne is a rock star in Louisville preservation and history. Over the past 4 decades, Joanne's dedication and passion exemplifies Brandon's life. And I'll show you a few more. There's Joanne. Joanne, I did find a photograph in my archives. We were going back and forth on that the other day. And here's more information about Joanne. She's just, you name it, she's been involved in all sorts of preservation over the years and history here in Louisville. And she wrote this beautiful book called Louisville Landmarks, which I believe is still being published and still being printed. And I think a lot of the proceeds go back to the Landmarks Commission, if I have that correct. And she's been involved in all sorts of designations for local landmarks and districts, National Register properties, individual properties, just a whole host of things. Joanne sent me her bio this morning, and I know we don't have a couple of hours to read it all, but suffice it to say, we will send it out, Joanne, to everyone, to the league via our email system later this week, and we'll be able to get that out to everyone. But Joanne Weeder, without further ado, if you would come up here.
Well, it's a real honor to be here today, especially to honor Brandon, because he was a spitfire. He would call us at the Landmarks Commission with all sorts of quirky questions that were the result of him walking the streets and observing and photographing and writing. And he always was such an advocate for the built environment. And I was very proud to be able to help him on occasion, be sort of a stealth source when I, as a city employee, couldn't always speak my mind. I'd, sort of occasionally give him a few tips on the side, and he was always very receptive to that. And he was just such a wonderful young man, and we need more people like him. He is sorely missed. So I just want to say thank you to the Louisville Historical League for this honor. I was on the board for about 10 years and enjoyed my time. As you all know, historic preservation is pretty much a team sport. So there are a whole host of people that I've worked with through the years, including Ann Hassett, who's up there on the mothership somewhere, still guiding us and hopefully looking down today at what we're doing as a group, as a collective. I thank my Landmarks Commission colleagues like Charles Cash, Debbie Richards, Darnell Ferris, Richard Jett, M.A. Allgaier, just a whole host, Carl Kramer as well, just a whole host of folks who helped me along the way. And I see Alan Steinberg sitting there. He was a fierce advocate to have me hired way back when Harvey Sloan was mayor, long time ago. And I was at the Landmarks Commission for about 23, 24 years, and I'm very proud of my time there and proud of the work that we collectively could do together. Neighborhood groups were key to the advocacy that we did at the Landmarks Commission. We bolstered that through, research and local landmark designations, National Register nominations like the Gaffney House, and working with individuals like Brandon was really key to what we did. So I just want to thank the Louisville Historical League, Steve, and the rest of the board members for the recognition, and I'm really honored by it. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Much appreciated, and congratulations. Our next award is for the iconic Courier-Journal reporter Martha Elson. Everyone in Louisville loved Martha Elson, and she lived just a block from here, just down the street on Frank Avenue here, from where we're sitting. Martha's chronicling of Louisville's neighborhoods and the people within them will be resources for future historians to examine this period of our city's existence. The League held a tribute to her career here 7 years ago prior to her passing. So some of you may recall she was here and we gave a great tribute to her that day. Here are some of the previous recipients of the Martha Elson Award. Steve Moggery received it last year. Mike Zanone was the first recipient. And today's recipient is Andy Belieden. Now I asked Andy how to pronounce his name. Was it Belieden or Blyden? And according to what I heard, was Belieden. So I'll leave it at that. But Andy is the unofficial mayor of Butchertown neighborhood. Butchertown is one of the city's oldest neighborhoods and has been somewhat overlooked in recent years, but not anymore. Andy's enthusiasm for this inner city district is contagious, and he puts his money where his heart is. He has bought various deteriorating properties and revitalized them. He has constantly championed Butchertown as a great place to live and work. Last year, Andy participated in the League's Pub, Spirit, and History Tour of Butchertown, and his talk to our group was energetically infectious about this residential area. Andy had planned to be here today, but something came up, and unfortunately he is out of town today, but we will present him his award later this week when he returns. The League honors him and all the other neighborhood leaders who take the time from their busy schedules to make their streetscapes a great place in which to live. So thank you, Andy Believing. In 2012, the history community mourned the loss of one of our leaders. Samuel W. Thomas was a knowledgeable, dedicated advocate for Louisville history. From his involvement with the preservation of historic Locust Grove to his meticulous research on almost 20 books, Sam was a legendary individual in our community. He received our Founders Award in 1993. To commemorate Sam's life and passion for books about local history, the League created the Samuel W. Thomas Louisville History Book Award in 2013. It is bestowed annually to the best local history book produced in a preceding year. Here are some of the recipients. Michael, I didn't realize you're going to receive a second award here till now. Okay, if this thing works properly, did I click it properly? Well, there we go. Well, let me go back one more. Well, it acts up periodically. By the way, we do have a ghost here at the Peterson Dumesnil House. It's called the Lady in White, and sometimes she plays with electronic equipment.
Yeah, batteries especially.
Batteries, yes. So anyways, we do some of this to the Lady in White. And then last year, Waverly Hills Sanatorium won our book award. And this year, we want to honor the Soulful Sounds at Derbytown and the 6 authors who meticulously, over the last decade, century, was it a century that this book came about? But anyways, thank you very much for all the dedication for putting this book together. And I think we have most of the authors here today. So if you all want to come up and accept the award. Gary, let me have the camera.